Sometimes when you have a topic and you have an idea, being able to just speak it freely, sometimes we're not always given that opportunity. Sometimes the best topics have to be written down. And so I'll read you out of the passages that I've been able to write. Not being accepted. This is a thing of fitting in that a lot of us have trouble with. And so through this channel, we are going to be able to speak about those matters and through other sort of subjects geared towards life. So why do you seek to blame the demon outside themselves? Why do people seek to blame the demon outside of themselves? The demon is within. Why do they adore to live with stress, even when they tell you they don't? I have come to enjoy being the odd one out. I have been all around the world and somehow landed back in my birthplace. This is when I went back to the Congo. I'm born in the Congo, grew up in Canada, and so I went back home, and this is when I realized that. The juxtapositions of the cultures. I have been all around the world and somehow landed back in my birthplace, but it seems I will always never fit in. Maybe it's how I see it, but maybe I also don't agree with it. Life is how you see it and make it. So maybe it's time to see myself already well fitted. As opposed to having the ideas in your mind where you believe a certain idea is true, maybe it's time to see things from the opposite perspective. Maybe it's time for me to stop thinking that I don't fit in, to start believing that I do fit in. And then the universe will mirror different things that show to me that yes, you're fitting in, confirmation bias. More and more, I have come to really pay attention to the idea of magnetism and frequency. Attraction is magnetism and chemistry is frequency. Stop worrying about being the guy who left and came back and worry about being the guy. People are not the problem. My perception of people is the issue. It's not as though rejection is anything new. What's new is my awareness of it and how it's begun to make me feel. We can never fit into any system at 100%. But you can never fit into every social group either. It meant more to enter into something meaningful with someone from my own country as I was attempting to leave behind what we Westerners call the white fever. I had this affinity with being with white girls, and then I said, you know what, if I'm gonna go back home to the motherland, I need to be with people of my own skin color and skin tone and culture. But there I wasn't, I was more accepted in Canada than I was overseas in the Congo. There we go. Turned myself into someone new who would never breed with his own kind. You see, these was always my ideas. Ideas that I would never be with like someone of my skin tone. I would always be with a white girl. But these are just personal anecdotes from my own life I'm giving you versus this idea of like, oh, you know what I mean? Just creating these examples. I'm giving you personal examples from my own life of having this sort of like this dichotomy of, oh, do I continue to just be with somebody that's outside of my own race, or do I now jump into being with somebody who is in my race? I don't want to get lost here. Give me a second. I believe that I was doing right by my own people by getting with somebody of the same race. That I was finally home and had found a place of acceptance. Turns out a spirit like myself has no home. I am forever bound to wander and believe more than ever I have finally come to terms with it. As for breeding with my own people, I will continue to try. But I do not think that my admiration for fair-skinned women will ever be abolished. I will begin to speak now on a more positive note. The reps of cold approaching, i.e. the hunt, has deemed worthy. I have never been one to... I don't appreciate the cold approach thing. I believe that if you're going to be doing anything, it has to be serendipitous. But I had been on the back end of just things not going well, like the girls in my own country not accepting me. You know what I mean? And so I tried to do things that were, I guess, abnormal, going out of the norm. I don't normally cold approach women, you know? So then I was like, oh, let me start cold approaching as many as possible to see that maybe if I can increase the volume, maybe the opportunities of these people, of someone coming to appreciate me would be in there amongst the midst. But even through the numerous cold approaches, nothing ever materialized. As rude and impolite the women here are, it has built in me a stronger confidence. So when I return to my English-speaking patrons, I will have a newfound certainty in myself. So even through all those bouts of rejection and no one accepting me, it had built a strong confidence in myself to be like, well, now I've been able to develop the cold approach through speaking through these women, that even though there's a language barrier, the ability to go and still approach them. Now imagine going back home where I can actually speak English and speak to other people. So it was like becoming stronger in a way, you know? So even though you're going through these moments of hardships and you're going through these moments where things aren't working out, you're still building a hardening and strengthening and conditioning and confidence from these moments. It's as though an entity wants to stop me from accomplishing my mission. It's as though Bibwa doesn't want things to advance. I see it as though I am a moving part within the beast. And to conclude here, now if you ever thought that the spirit realm wasn't real after being somewhere, I can testify that it is real. From the spirits that used to visit me while I sleep to the spirits that pushed me while I brushed my teeth, still not sure if it was trying to enter me or merely let me know I was there. But knowing spirits, I wouldn't put it past it if it was looking for a vessel. Ladies and gentlemen, being accepted, trying to maneuver life as an outsider, as some of us would put it, trying to enter different social groups, trying to be in places where we're probably not wanted, but we end up going there anyway. We have to then look at ourselves and say, it's okay to be the odd one out. It's okay to be the standout amongst the friends and family. Because if you do not start to accept yourself, then everybody else around you will not accept you either. I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Please continue to watch and binge watch, continue to watch more of the segments here. And if you guys have any comments or you have any things you guys want to discuss, go ahead and write in the comments. And I appreciate you guys. Blessings to everybody.